So you think you can beat me by outlawing my thoughts with your rogue politicians and the judges you bought? So you think you can mold me like I'm made out of clay? Oh, you want me to answer? Just got this to say. Take a look into this warrior's eyes. Tell me what you see. Take a look into this warrior's eyes. Oh, that still beats free.
Good evening, I'm Paul Fromm. I'm the Midnight Man on Stormfront Radio. Catch me every night at midnight Eastern Time, www.stormfront.org, for my nightly show For Our People, and that's for the European founding settler people of Canada and the United States, news and issues that are of interest to you. Again tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about a problem I've been going through. A judgment came down, and I've watched a lot of these human rights and other type judgments come down, and I often think there's a pattern. They come down on dates that are really important to us. Well, I didn't receive this for quite a while, but this was actually dated a day that's very important, certainly in my calendar, and that's Samhain, the 31st of October, in everyday parlance, Halloween. Well, what was it that the Discipline Committee of the Ontario College of Teachers had to say? In fact, why was I up in front of them? When somebody hears that a teacher lost his teaching license, that they assume, quite rightly, that he must have been doing something wrong sexually. He was having an affair with a kid in grade 12 or kid in grade 9 or whatever. About 85% of the teachers in the province of Ontario who lose their teaching certificate lose it because of sexual misconduct. So I always felt uncomfortable when I was hauled twice before the Ontario College of Teachers. The first time I beat the charges hands down. The second time, though, they had to do with my nonviolent expression on my own time of my political views. In fact, this was a follow-up to my having been fired, again, for my political views by the Peel Board of Education back in 1997. In 2003, a complaint was laid against me by the Peel Board to the Ontario College of Teachers, and the complaint alleged that I was guilty of professional misconduct. Now, you have to understand, none of this had to do with mistreating students, discriminating against students, having sex with students, running off with a staff coffee fund, or anything like that. It had to do exclusively with my nonviolent expression on my own time, off school property, of my political views. In fact, the Peel Board of Education alleged that the reason they fired me was because of my persistent contempt for multiculturalism and ethno-cultural equity, which they said were core values of the education system. Well, silly me, I had thought that the core values of the education system were things like literacy, numeracy, discipline, computer literacy, and so on. Oh no, apparently multiculturalism. You see, we have subtly slipped into a politically communist state in Ontario. In other words, they don't care whether a teacher can teach English or math or computer studies. What is most important is that they be a good multicultural little propagandist. Now, that's what my board said, and that's what the College of Teachers decided on October the 31st. They ruled against me, although they recognized I had been an exemplary teacher. They said that my political views constituted professional misconduct. Now you might say, well, what did you do? What did you say? Well, here are above the charges. In 1981, I co-founded the Canadian Association for Free Expression, an organization which espouses beliefs and values contrary to the principles of multiculturalism and tolerance. Get that? Free expression constitutes beliefs and values contrary to tolerance? It's all about tolerance. It's all about people, regardless of their views, religion, sexual interests, or whatever, being able to express their views freely. This is George Orwell territory, where freedom is repression and repression is freedom. So, having founded the Canadian Association for Free Expression, I'm somehow against multiculturalism. You know, in a weird way, that's true, because I warned. Now, here's another charge. In March 11, 1989, I addressed a crowd of about 60 persons, and my speech discussed, quote, the threats to our rights and freedoms from multiculturalism. Hey, I'm a walking, talking, living example of it. My right to teach was stolen from me because of multiculturalism. Because multiculturalism says, if you're a member of the dispossessed Canadian majority, you better shut up. That's the word. That's the story. Well, anyway, they went through a number of other of my off-campus political activities and so on, all of them legal, and they came to the conclusion that I ought to be stripped of my right to teach. They said that my behavior continued despite numerous written reprimands from my employer, and I never indicated any remorse. You're right. I have no remorse for standing up for free speech or for preserving Canada for the founding settler people who built this wonderful country. And they went on to say that my views should prevent me from teaching. And the thing that really bothered them was criticism of multiculturalism. The members' anti-multicultural views. Now, how many people actually believed when they signed on to be a teacher that they had to espouse one political view? It used to be that you had the right to dissent. You know, if we had capital punishment, you had the right to say we shouldn't have capital punishment. If we had laws against the use of marijuana, you had the right to campaign for the use of marijuana. You used to be able to dissent. Not anymore. And they weren't prepared to give me a slap on the wrist or a reprimand. No. A penalty other than the revocation would send a message to others that this type of behavior would be tolerated. And what they're trying to do, and they make it very explicit, they want a public humiliation, and of course the story ended up in the press with all sorts of lies and defamation about neo-Nazi and all the usual soap opera terms of abuse. The committee, they say, has determined in this case that due to my misconduct, the revocation of the member certificate, the publication of the member's name is warranted. Publication of the nature of the misconduct in which the member engaged will deter members of the profession from similar off-duty conduct. Publication of this member's name gives additional impact to the message that if any member of the teaching profession behaves in a manner such as this member, he or she will be identified to his peers and the public. In other words, Soviet-style embarrassment, humiliation, and exile. You know, the education system in the province of Ontario is no longer interested in excellence, in academic values. They are interested in brainless political correctness. And what they're going to get is a frightened, broken teaching profession and students who will get the lesson. Shut up. Not think for yourself, not be creative, not challenge ideas, but you shut up or you won't survive. That's the lesson of the Paul Fromm story. Well, I'm the Midnight Man every night on Stormfront Radio. Catch my show at www.stormfront.org, midnight Eastern Time, every night, for our people, with issues and commentary of interest for the European founding settler people of this country.